China's recent legal challenge against the United States at the World Trade Organization is not just another case in the annals of international trade disputes. It signals a profound shift in the global balance of power, a tectonic movement that could redefine international relations and economic policies. This unprecedented move, challenging US trade practices, marks a new chapter in the escalating rivalry between the world's two largest economies. The stakes are higher than ever, as both nations vie for supremacy in technology, trade, and geopolitical influence. The case, centered around US semiconductor export restrictions, transcends a simple trade dispute. It delves into the heart of technological dominance and national security, areas where both countries have significant stakes. It represents China's growing assertiveness on the world stage and its willingness to leverage international institutions to protect its interests. This is a clear message to the world that China is no longer content to play by rules set by others. The US, long accustomed to dictating the terms of global trade, now faces a formidable challenger. This confrontation is not just about trade, it's about who will set the rules for the 21st century global economy. China, once a passive player in the global trading system, has become a leading economic force. Its rapid economic growth and technological advancements have positioned it as a key player in global affairs. Its decision to confront the US head-on at the WTO underscores this new reality. This move is not just about addressing specific grievances, but about challenging the existing global order. The world watches with bated breath as this legal battle unfolds, aware that its outcome could set precedents that will influence international trade laws and practices for years to come. Its outcome is poised to reshape the contours of global trade and governance for decades to come. The implications of this case extend far beyond the immediate parties involved, potentially affecting global supply chains, international alliances, and the future of global economic leadership. The current trade tensions between the US and China are not new. They are the latest chapter in a long and complex history of economic rivalry between the two nations. In the 19th century, the Opium Wars forced China to open its markets to British goods, marking the beginning of Western economic dominance over China. This period left deep scars on the Chinese psyche, fueling a resentment towards the West that lingers to this day. The 20th century witnessed the rise of a communist China, further complicating the relationship. Decades of ideological confrontation and economic isolation followed. It was only with the opening up of the Chinese economy in the late 1970s that trade relations between the two countries began to thaw. This period saw a surge in trade, with China becoming a manufacturing powerhouse and the US a major consumer of Chinese goods. China's decision to challenge the US at the WTO represents a significant escalation in the trade war between the two countries. This move marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing economic conflict, highlighting the intensifying struggle for dominance in global trade. It is a departure from China's previous strategy of responding to US tariffs with retaliatory measures. Instead of engaging in a tit-for-tat tariff battle, China is now opting for a more calculated and strategic approach by leveraging international legal frameworks. By taking the legal route, China is seeking to portray itself as a responsible actor within the global trading system. This move is designed to enhance its image on the world stage, showing that it respects international norms and is committed to resolving disputes through established legal channels. It aims to demonstrate its commitment to rules-based trade and contrast its approach with what it perceives as the US's unilateralism. By doing so, China hopes to garner support from other nations who may also be wary of the US's aggressive trade policies. The case centers around the US's decision to restrict exports of advanced semiconductors to China. These semiconductors are not just any ordinary components. They are the backbone of modern technology and innovation. These semiconductors are crucial components in a wide range of technologies, from smartphones to artificial intelligence systems. The restriction on these exports could have far-reaching implications for China's tech industry, potentially slowing down its progress in key areas of technological development. The US argues that these restrictions are necessary for national security reasons, claiming that China could use these technologies for military purposes. This argument is rooted in concerns over the potential dual-use nature of advanced technologies, which can be applied in both civilian and military contexts. China, however, contends that the US's actions are nothing more than protectionism in disguise, aimed at stifling its technological rise. Beijing argues that the US is using national security as a pretext to maintain its technological superiority and hinder China's growth in the high-tech sector. This legal battle at the WTO could set a precedent for future trade disputes, influencing how countries navigate the complex interplay between national security and global trade. The United States has increasingly justified trade actions against China on environmental grounds. This strategy, however, raises suspicions of protectionism disguised as environmental concern. The Inflation Reduction Act, for example, while promoting green technologies, contains provisions that disadvantage Chinese companies. These measures have fueled accusations that the United States is using climate change as a pretext to bolster domestic industries and hinder China's economic progress. The United States argues that its policies are essential for combating climate change and leveling the playing field in green technologies. It accuses China of using unfair trade practices, such as state subsidies and intellectual property theft, to gain an advantage in these sectors. China, however, counters that the United States is simply trying to maintain its technological dominance under the guise of environmentalism. From a Chinese perspective, the West's economic and political dominance is waning. This view is shaped by a series of events and trends that Beijing interprets as signs of a shifting global order. China sees the United States' recent economic struggles, including rising inflation and political polarization, as evidence of its decline. The political gridlock in Washington, coupled with social unrest and economic instability, paints a picture of a superpower in trouble. China's leadership often points to the chaotic withdrawal of United States forces from Afghanistan and the perceived ineffectiveness of Western sanctions against Russia as signs of a weakening West. These events are seen as indicative of a broader inability of Western powers to manage global affairs effectively. China believes that the global order is shifting towards a multipolar system, with China at the helm. This perspective is bolstered by its growing influence in international organizations and its strategic partnerships with countries across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. It sees its own economic rise as a natural consequence of its superior model of state-led capitalism. China's rapid industrialization and technological advancements are often cited as proof of the effectiveness of its economic policies. China argues that its system, characterized by long-term planning and a focus on national development, is better equipped to handle the challenges of the 21st century than the West's model of liberal democracy and free markets. The success of its Belt and Road Initiative, which aims to enhance global trade through infrastructure development, is presented as a testament to this claim. China views the current trade tensions as part of a broader effort by the United States to contain its rise. The tariffs and trade barriers imposed by the US are seen not just as economic measures, but as strategic moves to curb China's growing influence. It believes that the United States is threatened by China's growing economic and technological might, and is resorting to protectionism and Cold War tactics to maintain its hegemony. The restrictions on Chinese tech companies and the push for decoupling in critical industries are viewed as attempts to stifle China's innovation and progress. Despite these challenges, China remains confident in its path forward. It continues to invest heavily in education, research, and international collaboration, believing that these efforts will secure its place as a global leader. The Chinese government promotes its cultural and technological achievements as symbols of its rising status on the world stage. Additionally, China's growing military capabilities and ambitious space programs are seen as further evidence of its ascent. These developments are intended to showcase China's ability to project power and influence far beyond its borders, reinforcing its vision of a new global order where it plays a central role. In summary, China's view of a shifting global order is one where it emerges as a dominant force, capable of shaping international norms and policies. This vision is driven by a combination of economic success, strategic diplomacy, and a belief in the superiority of its governance model. As the world continues to evolve, China is determined to position itself at the forefront of this transformation. China's economic rise has been nothing short of remarkable. Over the past 4 decades, it has transformed itself from a poor agrarian society into the world's second-largest economy and a technological powerhouse. China's success can be attributed to a combination of factors, including its vast labor force, strategic government policies, and aggressive investments in education and infrastructure. China has made significant strides in cutting-edge technologies, such as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and renewable energy. It is home to some of the world's leading technology companies, including Huawei, Alibaba, and Tencent. These companies are challenging the dominance of their Western counterparts in fields ranging from e-commerce to social media. China's technological advancements have not gone unnoticed in the West. The United States, in particular, views China's technological rise with a mixture of awe and apprehension,